Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades in the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of the social media accounts. Also, I did finish the week with, 28 wins, 7 losses for a win rate of 80% exactly. Had a great week except for Friday, but we'll get into Friday when I get to it with the recap. But yeah, overall the week was really good, minus Friday of course. And so with that said, we'll just jump right into it and go over the trades now. You can see the timestamps on Twitter. That's why I post them every day, so you can see the timestamps. Monday, I'm just going down my feed right now. Let's see. Monday was what? Monday was what? The 14th. Okay. Let's see. The 14th. Here we go. Monday, I started out with 6 wins and 2 losses. I had quite a few fake outs this week. I tried to be patient, but sometimes no matter how patient you are, the market just will catch you. So that's just part of trading. You're never going to be 100% all the time, and anyone that says they are is wrong or lying. So, you know, trading is just very risky. And while I'm saying that, remember that my room and my trades are not financial advice whatsoever. They never have been, nor will they ever will be. They're just my journey, my plays, and my thesis. So if you decide to follow me, then you're doing it at your own discretion and at your own risk. It's stuff like that. So take my calls and take my plays as a grain of salt, and just try to learn from them and try to get your own strategy going and get your own confidence and stuff like that. It's better to observe and understand than it is to just jump in it and blindly follow people. So now that I ranted that a little bit, so a lot of people just looking for this secret strategy, a secret pill that's going to give them the holy grail. There's no such thing as the holy grail. You can just try to find the best strat that fits your trading style and just fine tune it. So, and that's what I've done. And I found what works for me, which could not work for others, but definitely works for me. So, yeah, enough of that. So Monday, let's see, I started out with puts. Let's see what I said in the Trade Ideas channel. Now, if you don't know what the Trade Ideas channel is, every morning I post 2 or 3 ideas before market opens and throughout the day, partially, depending. Sometimes I just don't have the time to post it if something just happens, a news event or something breaks out, or something I wasn't looking at catches my eye. So sometimes just things happen. And also in the beginning of the day, I've been waiting out the first 15 minutes to 30 minutes because they've been so many fake outs at the first 15 to 30 minutes. It's not worth playing. And before, you used to be able to catch the first opening candle, first 10 minutes and get a good play, but it's just been pop and drop, a drop and pop. It's been completely fake outs, and it's not fun. It's better just to wait it out. So Monday, let's see, I said SPY puts under 420.50 and Facebook calls over 188. Now Monday is right here. Okay, so let's see, I took SPY 420 puts at 9:57. Make sure I get the right day here. 14th, 9:57. Right. And I don't know why I took it there. I mean, I guess I could see where it dropped here. See, this is the fake out I'm talking about. It drops here, then it breaks the open range breakdown candle right here. Open range ORB is open range breakdown or breakout, and it did break down just a tad bit right here. Then it pops, and this is what I've been talking about. You just get these all the time, and it's really hard to trade. So it's better just to avoid it than it is to play it. But it looks like, it came up here. I mean, it dropped and it popped and it rejected right here. Then it started to come down really, really fast right here. So I thought for sure I should have waited for down here. But this is a fake I could have avoided. It's a loss I could have avoided. So I did stop out of that at 60 cents, and because I had the 420 puts at 195. But, I think I stopped out up here. Then we had this. So, I mean, first of all, a couple things I shouldn't have done. First is that I shouldn't have grabbed it here at all. And second, I usually don't stop out, but lately I've been doing stop outs once in a while, and every time I do, it's cost me. So this one went way deep into the money, and I should have just held it. But this was, I think, a news, something about, I remember correctly, all week long it's been about ceasefire news, market reacts to it, or some kind of talks going on for a peace solution, then turn around, they're bombing stuff or fall apart. And one of the things that was funny this week was the news outlet was saying that they reached some kind of negotiation and peace talks, but yet the guy that's the president of Ukraine is talking to Congress on live, and yet while he's talking live, the press turns around and say, no, everything fell apart. I mean, everything fell apart before he was even on the live feed with Congress, and yet the media is really messing with the market because they're saying one thing, then they backtrack in 5 minutes later, and they don't realize that the repercussions is it's affecting the market. And the media should be held liable for any misinformation that especially the market is reacting to, because it's costing people money, and it's just not right, period. So that was an unnecessary loss, and that was also something I should have never got into. So with that said, next play is I went with SPX 4200 puts at 1030, which is right here, right at the rejection of VWAP, the purple line, which is 200 EMA. Now, actually, I didn't. Yeah, I think I did stop out up here on the 420 puts because I was waiting to see if it would reject right here, and it did. So I did grab the 420, the 4200 puts at $8, and they went from $8 to $9.50 in that little drop. Now I could bring it down to 1 minute, but I'm gonna have to bring it out to the 5 days. Let's see. 5 days. Okay. Now where did I grab it? Now you're not going to see the 200 EMA on this particular chart because I switched it over to the 1 minute, which is right here, right there at 1030. Let's see if I can get to 1030. Is this 1030 right here? Yeah, right in here is where I grabbed it. Right here. Yeah, right here is where I grabbed it on this little drop right here. From here to here, went from $8 to $9.50 in that little play. So next, I grabbed 4200 puts again at 11:12. Grabbed the right day. 11:12, which is right. Back this out just a little bit. 11:12. Right here. Okay, so I caught this little 200 EMA rejection. Usually when you have well, lately it's been, short the pops, but this whole week has kind of has changed. So we're going to have to see what next week brings. But I was looking at 200 EMA rejection right here, but yeah, it did drop to the 20 EMA, then it quickly bounced. 20 EMA is the blue line. So then when it popped, it came back down. This is where I ended up grabbing it underneath the 200 EMA again for the third play, which was the 4200 puts at $5.30. And they went from $5.30 to $10. No, $5.30 to $20.20 if you held all the way through. And then I ended up grabbing them again at I grabbed the 41.65 puts at 12.47, which I believe is right here. The double bottom, it started to bounce a little bit, and it quickly came back underneath the lower day. So this is where I grabbed it. The 41.65 puts at 5.30, and then went from 5.30 to $10 on the drop down. Then I switched sides and I tried to grab the bottom. I grabbed calls at let's see, 254, which is right here is where I grabbed them. You see where it started to bounce a little bit, then it did a quick little new lower day to flush out the stops, and it came back up. So I grabbed it right here at 254. I grabbed the 41.90 calls at $2.70, and they went from 270 to 550, and this little pop right here. Then I grabbed them again. I grabbed the 41.90 calls again at 317, which is right 317. I'm gonna have to probably break this down to the smaller time frame so I can actually see. Let's see. Oh, I gotta bring out the 5-minute, 5-day. I never use the 1 minute. It's so much noise. It's somewhere in here now. 317. What I got right here? No. Right in here. Is it rejected? I rebought it again right in here. And it bounced a little bit. So I had the $4 through 41.90 calls I had at $4 went from $4 to $5, and that little pop right there. Then it dropped. So I grabbed. Bring this one over here to the 10 minutes so we can actually see it better. Then I grabbed puts at the 41.60 puts at 332, which is right here. As you can see, it popped up and it failed to hold, and it came back down underneath these candles right here. And that's where I ended up grabbing the 41.60 puts at $4, and they went from $4 to $6. Right here. Then I ended up grabbing another loss at the end of the day. I ended up grabbing puts at 41.65 puts at 350. Right here, you can see it started to pop up and it came back down quickly, and I thought for sure that it popped up. It rejected the 20 EMA, this blue line right here, a few times. Then it came quickly down. So I thought for sure it was going to break lower day, and you can never really think just because it's down $10 that they can't go another $5, because when things are really volatile, SPY can go $10 to $15 no problem. So I thought for sure that because it rejected the 20 EMA and it came back down here really quick, it was going to break lower day and just dump in it, and it just didn't. So that ended up being the other loss for the day. So yeah, so not too bad of a Monday. Kind of a couple fake outs, misjudgments, but it is what it is. Now Tuesday, let's see. Tuesday, I had 6 wins and 1 loss on Tuesday. So just trying to get everything lined up here. So get this back to the 1 hour. I hate seeing the 10 minute and the 1 minute. I just don't like seeing it. It's way too much noise. The market had a nice, very big week this week. I just was not expecting it to bounce back as hard as it did. But yeah, I took SPY puts at 417. Well, let's look at the trade ideas room first before I get into that. Facebook calls over 190, Microsoft calls over 281. Let's see what time I put this one out right here. Then at 9:38, I put SPY puts into 419. So what I was looking at was I was seeing this big bounce, and I was not quite sure what it was going to do. I mean, the one thing I really can't stand are these large gap up and gap downs, because it makes it really hard to know what's really going to end up happening. And it popped up, then it came back down, and I said 417, which is what I said, 419. Let's blow this up. Actually, let's back this out just a little bit. 419, yeah, right here. Broke to 419, which is the cluster of these candles, consolidation of these candles right here, and it broke underneath that. So I grabbed it, but you gotta also remember the 20 EMA is right here. It's gonna end up bouncing usually. That's why you always gotta watch the 20 EMA because it's the one that's most respected as far as bounces and sell-offs. When you see it bounced here, and it bounced here. So the more it bounces off the 20 EMA, the more likely it's going to finally break it. Same with any moving average or any area. You know, I was remember, I don't know if well, I'll get to this in a second, but yeah, I grabbed it right here. I grabbed the 417 puts at 352, and they went from 352 to 374. Not much of a play. I really thought it was going to dump, but it didn't. The one thing I do really like is the 200 EMA is that when we have long exaggerated moves that it does end up respecting it at least once. So I do like those kind of moves too. But yeah, it did a false breakdown. Another fake out right here. Started to pop. It's been faking out on both sides. Fakes to pop, fakes to drops, then it chops, then it pops. I mean, it's really just like really hard to read when it's having these multiple fake outs in both directions, literally confusing both sides, getting people long, getting people short, then chopping to get them to think, second guess themselves, and then it finally does something a half an hour later. That's just so annoying to watch. So then I ended up playing Microsoft 275 puts at 9:45. Let's get the right day here. Yeah, right here. I played puts right here, right in here, and it ripped on me. So yeah, I jumped in SPY puts and Microsoft puts, and I managed to pull out SPY, but Microsoft I really thought was gonna drop here, and it didn't. It started to consolidate a little bit. As long as it stayed underneath this higher day candle, I was okay with it. And then it started to drop here, and I was like, okay, it's finally gonna drop. Then it rips, and it's just okay, whatever. So that didn't work out. Microsoft is one I'm probably gonna avoid for a little while. Microsoft has been burning me lately. It just has been really tough to trade. So SPY puts. Let's see. I'm trying to get the right day here. I had SPY puts at 11:55. Okay, 11:55, which is right here. There was news or something. I don't remember what it was, but I caught this knife right here. I chased it, and I labeled it risky because of I labeled all the plays risky because of I just was not having a very good week, and the market was being very tricky. So I at least wanted to tag the plays to let everybody know that not to do anything stupid, not to go in large. I'm not going in large. Just be careful. And yeah, I grabbed the 422 puts right here on this big red candle at 326, and then went from 326 to 411. I'm not quite sure what the news was right here, but it was a news event. I remember. I'm just not sure what it was. Probably something to do with the peace talks again. Oh, we're making it seriously reminds me of the China trade deal, where the media would say, oh, we're getting close to a deal. Oh, no. 5 minutes later, the deal fell apart. Oh, we're getting really close for another deal. Then it just fell apart. And this is the same bullshit as they were doing with the China trade deal. So it just then they had it with the COVID and stuff like that. Or we're coming close to a vaccine. The vaccine's gonna work. Oh no, there's problems with the vaccine, and it's just. I really can't stand it when the media is just literally manipulating everything. Then I took 422 puts again at 1244, which is right here. Right here, you can see we got this move. It came back up, rejected the higher day, and I grabbed it right here. The 422 puts at this time at 297. They went from 297 to 346. So then I ended up grabbing them again at 107, which is right up here when it rebounded, right in here. We caught this move, it came back up. I bought the retracement, and I caught that move. So the 422 puts this time I had it 295, and they went from 295 to 350 on this little drop right here. So yeah, we caught this one, this one, this one, and we got the retracement right here. I bounced back up and grabbed that. Then I grabbed 422 puts at 203, which is right here. Came back up, and now what I was looking at right here was the head and shoulders. You get the left, the head, and the right shoulder, and this was the neckline right here. So I grabbed the 422 puts at 308, and they went from 308 to 364 on that little drop right here. It should have had a nice bigger drop to 420 or lower, but it didn't. This is how it's been for most of the week. It will have a bearish setup, then it will rip the other direction, or we'll have a bearish setup, a bullish setup, then it will tank on you. It's been doing that for the last couple of weeks. So head and shoulders was pretty clear right here, and it started to pan out just a little bit, then it ripped on the other direction. So then I ended up grabbing puts again at 213, which is right 213. Where did I grab them again? Right here. 213. Oh, okay. I see right here. I caught him right here. I caught this move. Then when it bounced back up, I bought it again right here for the, yeah, okay. So this is what I did was the 203 one I grabbed right here in this candle from here to here, and I sold it into here. And then when it popped back up, I grabbed it again at 336, and for this move right down in here. So yeah, that was the last move of the day right there that I thought the head and shoulders were going to play out, and it didn't. It just ripped the other way, and I just wasn't interested in playing the breakout because end of day, anything can happen, and I just wasn't having it. So I was having a pretty decent day so far. It's just the fake outs have been a little crazy. So yeah. Then we had FOMC Wednesday, which had a lot of great trades on Wednesday. Wednesday was a really good day. Now, Baba was the first trade of the day. Baba has a history of having large gap ups and selling off, but the problem with Baba lately is that when it has these big gap ups, the options don't recalculate right off the bat, and they lag, and they just end up dropping, and it was kind of very, very annoying. I had to wait a few minutes before I ended up grabbing it. I think I ended up grabbing it like mid-candle, like right down in here somewhere. So I did grab the Baba 85 puts at 199, and they went from 199 to 250. So not as big of a play I was hoping for. Usually they fill the gap, but they had China news. I think the China Fed, equivalent to the Fed, it was pumping up the market or getting behind the market, their market anyways, and China stocks were ripping that day. So yeah, so we got that play, and then I ended up playing Apple. Now this is one that I stopped out again, another one I stopped out that I shouldn't have. I grabbed it at 10:06. I didn't even go over the trade ideas room on the 16th. It said Baba puts under 91 and Facebook puts under 194. So Baba worked out. Anytime Baba has a big gap up, I always look at the short side of it, because a lot of the time it does fill the gap in the first candle. It does make a nice big drop the first opening candle, but like I said, that the options just does not want to recalculate, so it just takes a little time to it lags a little bit, so just have to deal with that. So and sometimes the spreads are really, really bad too on Baba, so not just Baba, on a lot of them. So okay, so yeah, I took Apple puts at 10:06, which is right here. As you can see, it dropped, came back up, then it came back down really fast. I grabbed it right here, then it ripped on me, and I ended up selling it, I think, right up in here. I sold it at I got it, the 155 puts at 138, and I dumped it at 180. Then it just consolidated, and it just dumped, and they went way into the money, green. So another one I stopped out on, and took a hit on, and not a hit, but just a loss, small loss, and yeah, that was just very annoying. Then I took SPY puts at 1047. Now I'm gonna have to break it down to the 1 minute on when I get to FOMC, but yeah, make sure I get the right day. Okay, at 1047, which is right here. No, 1047. We had this big exaggerated candle up. I can't remember what that was about. It could have been another negotiation, successful negotiation thing. I think this could have been the one with this might have been the one with him being in Congress and the news come out. This might have been the candle. Because when that popped up, I grabbed it for retracement because of that. So, yeah, I grabbed the 432 puts at $2 rate. 1047 right here, and it broke underneath these candles. See these candles right here, and it broke underneath it right in here. So that's why I grabbed it. They went from $2 to 228. Not much of a move, just a little bit right there. Then it just chopped, and I ended up grabbing it again at 1102, right when it popped up here. I grabbed it again. I grabbed as 432 puts again at 204, and they went from 204 to 249 in that little drop right there. Then I ended up grabbing SPY 32 puts again at 103, which is right here. It dropped right here. I don't know why I didn't grab it right here. I don't know why I didn't grab that right there, but I should have. I didn't grab it right there, but let me blow this up more. I didn't grab it here, but I did grab this one right here. So when I came back up, I grabbed it right here. So the 432 puts this time at $2.40, then went from 240 to 318 in that little drop right there. And it came back up. Then I waited for FOMC, and the FOMC, I ended up grabbing a strangle play like I always do. I grabbed the 42.65 puts at $4.50, and I grabbed the 43.55 calls at $4.70. So I'm going to have to break it down to the 1 minute so we can see the craziness of this and stuff like that. So it's FOMC's right here. Okay, so we had, let's see. First, it popped a little bit. Where is it? Right here. I got it down here. It popped a little bit. So it went from, the calls went from 470 to 530. And so they went up a little bit. So I did end up getting out of that. Then it ended up dropping, and it dropped quite a bit. So I ended up selling the 40. I had the 42.65 puts. They went from 450 to 1520 on that dump right there. So usually what ends up happening is you get the first move is usually the wrong one. This time it just went straight down. It didn't pop then drop. This time it actually dropped, and it's dropped more. Then at the when the speech came at Powell speech right at 2:30, that's just when it ended up reversing. So we did end up selling the calls at the, let me see. I know it dropped a couple of times. Let's see if I can go back up. The 16th. Yeah, I ended up selling the calls around like $2 apparently. So I didn't get the $5 where it went up, but I thought about it, but I was kind of hoping to see that it would have a stronger move on because like I say that it would have like a nice pop up, then it would drop, or it would drop then pop, and it just went straight down. So I did end up getting rid of the puts on the way down and cutting the calls, because there's no reason to hold them. But you know, I cut them, and I shouldn't have, because they went in the money. But it is what it is. Still had a very nice trade on that. So then I ended up grabbing, let's see, I was playing the little pops and drops throughout the FOMC. Now we got this big move right here, then it popped back up, and I grabbed them like 42.40 puts at 222, which is right here. Went up to the 20 EMA, rejected. I grabbed it, and the 42.40 puts I got at $4.05. Went from 405 to 1070 right here, and that little drop. Then I ended up grabbing them at 247. 247 right here. The rejection off the 20 EMA, 247. Right here. Wait, 247. When I grab it. Right in here, I think. This is where I grabbed it, right here. No, actually, this is a 1 minute. 1 minute. I keep thinking I'm grabbing a 10 minute. This is where I'm getting confused. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see it right up in here. The 432 area. So I grabbed it at 1030. 247. So right. Oh yeah, I got a rejection right here off from, oh shit, that's a 1 minute. But the rejection right here of the 20 EMA and the 37 VWAP, this is where I ended up grabbing it. Catch this move right here. I gotta remember on the 1 minute right here, that's why. The 4270 puts at $4.40. It went from 440 to 620. And that little drop right there. Then I ended up grabbing them in again at 256, which is right here. 256. I grabbed them right there a couple times, so right here. So first one I got right here, 247. Got that little rejection right here. Then right here, the rejection of VWAP, which is the same on all time frames, minute, 10 minute. So got the rejection off that. That was the let's see, 4270 puts. I got it. Okay, wait a minute here. This one was 40 to 40 puts at 405. The 405 went from 405 to 10. Wait a minute here. I'm missing something here. 247. Okay, yeah, that was the 440. Okay, this one I got. This one was the 4290 puts at $4. I was getting confused here. This one I got 4290 puts at $4, and it went from $4 to 820. So that got a 100% move right there. On that little drop, that little pullback, I kept trying to a lot this week. I kept trying to guess the top and just thinking that we're still in short to pop mode this week, and for the most part, we were a little bit, but now that the FOMC is out of the way, that the market could be a little different now. But yeah, I caught the rejection here, caught it here. Now I grabbed them again at 327. Where's 327? Right. 327. Yeah, 327 was this area right in here. Right in here. Now, it's hard to see on the 1 minute, but yeah, right here. I grabbed it here because this was where it was consolidating, and I thought for sure because of this massive, drop and pop that it was going to pull back, which it did. So I grabbed the 4320 puts at $2.60, and it went from 260 to 530. And that red candle right there, which was this right here on the 1 minute. So I caught the puts, timed them perfectly, but I just didn't think that the market was going to keep squeezing up. I thought it was going to fall apart here, or it was going to fall apart here. Then it just kept going, and then that's like, okay, I had enough. I had a really, really great FOMC day, so I can't really complain at all. So I only had one loss out of 9 plays, so I'm definitely not going to complain about that. Then I had on Thursday, I had, let's see, Baba puts, Baba gap up again. Let's see. No, it didn't. Grab puts right here at 950. I popped back up. I grabbed it right here. Nope, 950. Right here. Drop, came back up, dropped again. Then right when it started to break below right here, I grabbed it quickly. The 97 puts, they went from $3 to $3.50. Not much of a move. Then it popped back up and came back down. Baba's just been a little tricky a little bit. Last thing, not the last time because we had the big gap up, but the time before that, I got faked out by Baba. I stopped out from it because it will has these kind of radical moves where drop, and it'll drop and pop really fast. I can't remember what it was, sometime last week or the week before. That caught me off guard. I do remember that. But then I ended up grabbing Tesla every single time. Almost every single time I call Tesla, the calls or play goes in the money. And I grabbed Tesla calls at, what did I say, pre-market? I'm getting ahead of myself here. Baba puts under 150 and Facebook calls over 204. Now I played Baba puts. I had Tesla calls over 845. What time did I call this? 946. And I grabbed it right after 950. So right here I grabbed Tesla. I grabbed the 870 calls at 485. And they went from 485 to 1490 if you held all the way through. I sold into the pop. I think a couple people in the room, I can't remember who it was, but one of them held through the dip and was actually playing that most of my calls go in the money, and they got lucky, but I wouldn't have because of this. It could have just gone a lower day and just dumped, but I don't know what it is. Tesla's just been going in the money almost every time I play it, so it's been kind of crazy. Now I had SPY puts at at 1051. 1051 right here, right? 1051. It was in this area. It was in this candle somewhere. Yeah, it was this candle right in here that I grabbed it right here. The 430 puts at 170 and they went from 171.99. Not much of a play. I probably should have grabbed it right here a little higher up. I think that I was in Tesla at that time, so I wasn't really paying attention. But yeah, I caught the lower end, and I even put chasing. I think there was news, and I did catch a little bit of it. So there was a little play, and then I ended up catching 439 puts at 203, which is at right up here. Now 203. Let me blow it up on the hourly, which is right here. It was in this candle right now. And the reason I don't want to blow it up too much is because I want you to see. Right. Is this the day? Right here. Right in this candle right here. As you can see over to the left on the hourly, you get the 439 area, 440 area where it's rejecting. So this is why I ended up grabbing it right there at the 440. So I got the 439 puts at 328. I went from 328 to 370. I timed that one kind of good. So I was very surprised that we went from 414 to 440 in 3 days. That's just ridiculous. So that was it for Thursday. Didn't play much on Thursday. I wasn't really wanting to play that much. Had a great day on FOMC. I didn't want to do anything stupid. Then we had quad witching on Friday, and that was very, very annoying. Went 3 for 3, and I didn't stop out of anything, thinking that we were going to get end of the day dumps, and no, did not happen. So the first one I took was, let's see, the Trade Ideas Room. SPY puts under 435.50, and Disney puts under 138. Took SPY 441 puts at 174 at 1013, which is right here. Rejection of PDC, which is the white line, previous day's close. They went from 171 to 287, that little drop. Then I ended up grabbing 440 puts at 1040, which is right here. I grabbed it again right here because it popped up a little bit, and I grabbed it again thinking we were going to actually dump. And it didn't, so I held it and held it and held it. Then it ripped, and I kept with it. But I ended up buying SPX calls. I ended up waiting and bought calls right at 1224, which I think is this candle right here. And he was making a ascending wedge, and usually that's a bullish sign. And the way how ridiculous SPY has been, and SPY has been like, when it's ridiculous, it ignores all new headlines, ignores all resistance and moving averages. It just acts stupid. And the reason why it was ignoring everything because it was quad witching. It had historic amount of puts for open interest, and the slime bag market makers wanted to make them all worthless, so they ran up the market. They didn't give any dips whatsoever, and people kept buying puts and puts and puts throughout the day, and they just screwed over every single put holder that was holding for quad witching. Because usually what happens quad witching, the last three quad witchings, nothing happened. It did absolutely nothing like this past Friday, but historically it will chop or will have some violent moves, but it won't be for the last 5 or 10 minutes, and you'll just see these massive like $2 or $3 $4 candles dumps or pops, and just did nothing the last few quad witchings. So maybe the volatility at the end is just not happening anymore, so I don't know. But yeah, they just ran it up, made all these historical record number of put holders lose all their money, and they ran away with the premium. So the dirty, greedy market makers made probably trillions of dollars off that little push. So, but because of that, I think that we're going to end up pulling back on Monday. But anyways, I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, I had the 445 calls at $3 at 12 right here, this breakout. They went from $3 to 22 if he held all the way through. So that was a massive move. Then I ended up taking 44.20 puts at 158. At 158, which is right, blow it up so we can see it more. 158, which is right here. Yeah, right in here. This is where I ended up grabbing it, right here, and that little drop right there. I just kept thinking, okay, we were going to. There was a reason I took it right there. I think there was a 50. I think there was a 50 EMA on the weekly or something, or the 20 or something. There was a major EMA on the weekly. I think right here. So this is where I ended up grabbing it, right in here. So I had the 44.20 puts at 320. And they went from 320 to 390. So yeah, I just waited. Then I just stayed out and just watched SPY just go ridiculous, because literally this is just untradeable when it's up from 414 to 440 plus, ignoring everything and ignoring the headlines, because there was a bunch of bad news piling in all day long. Hawkish Fed threatening more increases, and more drama with Ukraine and Russia, and now China, and threatening with Taiwan and consequences and stuff like that. And it was ignoring everything that it should have reacted to. But the market just was more determined to make the put holders worthless than anything. So I just waited and waited and waited and waited. So I tried to get the quad witching, and I was thinking, okay, we're up so much, we're going to dump the end of the day, because usually on quad witching, when we have those violent moves, it's usually a dump. And so I jumped in, I kind of braced for it. So I grabbed the 44.50 at 321, which I believe is this candle right here. Yeah, I grabbed it right here, and it came back down, and it didn't. It popped back up. So I was like, okay, I'll wait, and I'll hold it 44.50. If it dumps like it historically has done in the past, that they'll go in the money probably, because I was like maybe two strikes out of the money, and the violent move at the end of the day will send them ridiculous. And so I waited. So this candle started to drop a little bit. Then I ended up grabbing the 44.55, a little closer. I didn't even need to do that. And both of them went worthless, and the 440 puts I had earlier today went worthless too. So I was in position for the end of the day dump that never happened. They kept it propped up, and when I was looking at the open interest, a lot of the high open interest in the SPY SPX puts were underneath 440, and if they wanted to dump it, that was one of the reasons why I thought they were pushing it up. They were pushing it up so they had that cushion, that if it dumped end of the day, as long as it didn't go underneath 440, they would have had, wouldn't have any of the high open interests go in the money. So I really thought they were running it up to reduce the end of the day drop, so any of those wouldn't go in the money. But no, I misheard that, not misheard, but I just misread that, and and brace for something that didn't happen, and I shouldn't have done that. So a lot of the losses I took this week were premature fake outs. I stopped out unnecessarily, or I anticipated something that never happened. So I should have only had a couple, and I ended up having a lot more than I needed to. So, but that's gonna do it with the recap. I hope this has helped you understand why I took what I did and where. And I try to get into the psychological aspect of it and what I was thinking and stuff like that. But I'm not going to be right all the time. No one's going to be right all the time. Options is literally the hardest to trade because you got the actual stock price movement, then you got time decay in the process. So it's all about timing, and options is very, very tough. And a lot of people struggle with it, and I try to be very sniper-like with it, but sometimes I get it wrong, and that's just the way it is. So that's going to do it for the recap, and hope to see you in the room, and thank you for watching.